Hey, this is SJ Talks and Live coming back at you with another video. If you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button, please, and thank you. I have it on Neek at Night, YouTuber by the name of Neek at Night. Um, this one, this video just popped up in my recommendations, and I clicked on it. The daughter is alleging that um, um, her mother, her mother died. Worked for L.A. County. She's a LA County employee, and she died on the job. Um, they refused. It says LA County employee dies at work after being refused to go home while feeling ill. Harassment allegations point to deeper workplace issues. So they refused to let her go home. Um, and her daughter is trying to investigate, trying to find out what happened to her mother. Her mother was dealing with some discrimination and some harassment, allegedly on the job, and um, she passed away. And her daughter's trying to find out get to the bottom of what really happened, and she's not getting any straight answers. So I'm not really going to play her video, but um, just want to shed some light on I looked at that, and I know in another video I mentioned this lady worked for um, Wells Fargo. She worked for Wells Fargo, and they found her dead at her desk. She was there for a few days before they found her. Yes, she was there for a few days before they found her. And now it's a situation to where um, this employee, this black lady, dies at work, and they refuse to let her go home. That's crazy. And I really, really hope that her daughter gets justice. Her daughter's trying to find out what happened, because her mother was allegedly dealing with some harassment. She was dealing with some workplace harassment, some discrimination in that, which is, a lot of times black women have to deal with in the workplace. So her daughter's trying to investigate and trying to get to the bottom of what really happened to her mother. But the part where it says they refused to let her go home is really disturbing to me. That part is really disturbing to me. That the fact that they refused to let this woman go home, and she wasn't feeling good. Her daughter says she put in 20 years, and she put in 20 years on this job. And you would think after 20 years, she would have enough seniority to be able to go home if she's feeling sick. And it just made me think back to when I was in the workplace. And I remember when my last job that I worked at, my last job before I went on my semi-retirement / disability, was at a adult foster care home / assisted living, whichever the heck it was. I don't know. Yeah, I think it was both. I fell asleep in my chair, because that's where my back issues got worse, you know, um, at that job, and that's why I had to leave. My back and leg issues, that's why I had to leave. Um, but I fell asleep in my chair one day, and my leg fell asleep. That was the beginning of my issues with my legs. And I didn't know, how sometimes your leg will fall asleep or your hand will fall asleep. And I didn't know that my leg fell asleep. And I went to get up, and I fell flat on my face. That's scary. I don't know if you guys ever did that, but that is scary. I didn't know what happened. And as a result, I hurt my ankle. And I woke, I got up, I was limping, I had a limp. Well, do you know when I called in to work, they would not let me call in. She's like, well, we're short staffed and we really need you and all this kind of stuff. I said, yeah, but I can barely walk. I'm limping. I fell. I explained to the lady that I fell, and she didn't try to hear that. Well, we really need you. If you could really try to get in, because we're short staffed, and I don't know if I can find anybody else and this and that. Now, if I had to quit, you would have found somebody else. If I had said I quit, you would have found somebody else. She would have found somebody else had I said I quit. So when I broke down and came in anyway, And my job where I worked, because it was two different floors, like downstairs, um, it was more of assisted living downstairs. Upstairs, the residents, most of the residents were a little more independent, for the exception of one or two. And so it wasn't, and it was one person. It's that upstairs in this house. One person works upstairs versus three works downstairs. So I was upstairs working, by myself. And so the job wasn't, for the exception of having to lift this 265-pound man every night. Other than that, the job wasn't too strenuous, but it's just the fact that I could barely walk and I was limping. So I had to come to work and do the best I could, because the job, it also entailed sweeping and mopping every night, checking in on the residents. So cleaning bathrooms. So it did entail some walking. I had to do some walking, doing laundry. I had to do some walking. You know, and so I just had to do the best I could that night. I winded up coming in anyway, and I had to do the best I could. Well, thank you, June. But it's just the principle of the thing. It was just the principle of the thing and that's not the first time that I've called into my workplace and they didn't let me call in. I think another time when I was working at another assisted living facility, I tried to call in for something, and I can't remember what it was, and they didn't let me call in. Let me know in the comment section you guys ever had that happen. You try to call in to work and they don't let you call in. Oh, we need you, we short staff and all this stuff. You can't even call in to work. And then you're afraid if you don't call in, that's your job. You're afraid if you don't come in, they put you in a position where you're caught between a rock and a hard place, because you're afraid that if you don't come in, you're going to lose your job. So I had to do the best I could. Even though I had a little limp, I still had to come to work, and and I did the best I could. I had to do the best I could. But you feel like if you don't come in, then that's your job. And this job was a at your will employer. At your will employer means that they can fire you anytime for anything, and they don't have to give you a reason for it. So this was an at will employer. So no union shop. This was an at will employer. So no rights there. So I felt like I had to break down and try to come in. And another time was when, well, that another situation was they were working me 6 to 10 days straight. I'm telling you, this job broke me down. They was working me anywhere from 10 to 6 days straight. I finally told the lady that I can't keep doing this. I'm over 50 years old. I can't keep working like this. I mean, this is it's breaking me down. I can't keep doing it. Well, we short staff, and and once again, 50 million excuses. We short staff in situations like that. So I'm like, I can't keep working these, and finally it just really started breaking my body down to the point to where I didn't have no choice but to leave. So this happens more often than not. Hit me up in the comment section. Let me know if you've ever had a job where they wouldn't let you call in. They would give you a hard time if you try to call in sick or you try to go in sick. This lady was sick and was feeling ill, and they would not let her go home. I hope that her daughter sues the mess out of these people, and I hope she gets a good payout. Matter of fact, I'm going to pray that her daughter gets a good payout, because she said her mother was keeping a record of that's good. Her mother was writing things down and keeping a record of her harassment and things like that. I hope that the daughter has got all the records, and I really, really hope that she sues the mess out of these people. I hope she sued the mess out of these people, because they wrong for that. How you gonna not let somebody go home if they tell you they not feeling good? I would, as an employer, I would be scared to do that. If I owned a company, as an employer, As an employer, I would be really scared to do that. I would be really scared to not let somebody go home, afraid that something like this would happen. They would have to go to the hospital or they would pass away, and I would be held liable. I would think employers would be scared to do stuff like that. When an employee is telling you they don't feel good, let them go. Because then that way, if you let them go home and then they pass on at home, okay, that's not on you. You let them go. But the fact that they didn't let her go, she told them she wasn't feeling good, and they didn't let her go. That's a liability, and they are liable. They're liable for her death. And I hope her daughter gets paid. I hope she gets paid. I hope she gets millions, because they was wrong for that. And plus, they have been harassing her, which is something that lots of black women have to deal with. I've had to deal with it before in the workplace and all that stuff. So I'm hoping that her daughter can get them records together. And I really, really hope her daughter wins this case. I really hope her daughter, and pray that her daughter gets justice in this situation. But what I want to say is, because this last job, I worked myself, I didn't really realize how bad my back issues was on this job. I knew, yes, I knew I had back issues, but I didn't know how bad it was until I left, and then I got my test done. It took me having to get, because I couldn't get insurance, health insurance, until I left, and it took me having to get an MRI, not X-rays, but an MRI done. MRI is more thorough, and it and for to find out exactly what was going on with me. I didn't know. I didn't have I had the back issue, but I didn't have the SI joint issues before I started that job. After I left this job, I had not only the spinal stenosis, but I had also the SI joint issues, which SI joint issues I did not have, which is a nerve issue I did not have before I started this job. So in essence, my back issues got worse, and so that's what I'm saying. And I couldn't get workman's comp because I had already left the job. I couldn't get unemployment because I had already left the job. I tried to get unemployment several times, and your employer can deny it, and they kept denying it. And I explained to them that I left for medical reasons, and I had to turn in some documentation from the doctor and that. Didn't get it. Tried several times, didn't get it. So, but I just want to say, don't let these jobs. You guys are still out there working. Do not let these jobs run you in the ground. Do not let these jobs. You have to put yourself first. And that is the most important lesson that I learned. You have to put yourself first. Because these jobs do not care about you. Just like like I said, I fell, I hurt my ankle, and she don't tell me I could come in anyway. That's what I'm saying. They don't care. These jobs do not care. You're just a number. You're just a number. All they care about is their money, and that's all they care about. They don't care about you. And in bigger workplaces, you're just a number. That's all they care about. They don't give a doggone about you. You have to care about you. God is able. When I left, God made a way. It was tough. It was a struggle, but God made a way. Okay? He made a way. So God will make a way. You just have to trust and believe. That's at a point where you have to put your trust and faith in God that He will make a way, and He will make a way. He will. When I left the daycare, before that I was working at a daycare, and I left because of same issues. I left because of my back situation. And He made a way. So God will make a way. I'm living testimony. He will make a way, but you got to trust Him. You got to trust Him. He will make a way. But you are more important than any job. Remember that. You guys are still out there working. You are more important than any of these jobs. I know you got to make money, and I get it. But at the end of the day, you are more important than the job. And you got to remember that. Do not let these employers run you in the ground. If you're having issues with your health, back, protect your spine. Absolutely. Under every, I definitely stress that till the cows come home. Please protect your spine, because I'm telling you, once your spine gets messed up, I'm telling you, you that ain't no joke. Spine issues ain't no joke, and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. But I'm telling you guys, put yourself first. Your health and well-being is more important than any job. Okay? Now this lady, I bet you now they got somebody else in her position. Once you the lady that they found at Wells Fargo at her desk had been dead for days before they found her. I bet you they had her position filled the next day. These employers, the place where this job that I used to work at, I bet you they don't even remember my name. Because they have a revolving door. I bet you they don't even remember my name. They don't care nothing about you. Didn't call to check on me. Didn't say, well, June, are you okay? They didn't care. I'm telling you. They did not care about me. And then a video that I did right after I left the job. It's way back. If I find it, I'll put it in the description box. But it's way back. Because I did it like 4 years ago. The director had the nerve to put a comment in the comment section, and I deleted it. She had the nerve to put it in the comment, a smart comment in the comment section, and I deleted it. Okay? I ain't say the name of y'all company. I ain't say the name of the company, so what's the problem? I can say what I want about it. I ain't never said the name of it. But she had the nerve to put a smart comment in the comment. I deleted her comment. Who she thinks she is. I can say anything I want. Because I ain't never said nothing. I ain't never named off the company. I ain't never named off that company. I could have put them on blast on Facebook and everything, but I didn't. So I can say whatever I want. So this show did delete her comment. I got the right to say anything I want to say. I ain't never said, I really could have put them on blast. I could have went on Facebook and put them on blast, but I didn't. If she gonna put a smart comment in my comment section, I sure did delete it. I sure did. But they didn't do right, and I bet you they don't even remember my name. These jobs don't care about you. They don't, none of them. And I'm glad I'm not in the workforce anymore. It's a blessing. I mean, yes, I have back and leg issues, but it's a blessing in disguise. God is making a way. God is able. Because these jobs is a mess. They is a mess. And hopefully one day I'll be able to have my own business. But when I do, if I have employees, I'm not going to treat my employees like that. I've learned a lot when I was in the workforce. And if I ever do have employees, I am not going to treat my employees like that. But these employers are trash. Most majority of them are trash. Just like how they did my son when my son broke his foot. I'll see if I can find that video. I told that story. When my son broke his foot. Oh, he got paid. That's all I'm gonna say about it. But my son broke his foot, and they gonna turn around and fire him. I could have put them on blast too, but I didn't. He broke his foot and came back to work, and they got rid of him, and thought they weren't gonna have to pay. Oh, they had to pay. Trust and believe. They thought they was gonna get away scot-free. Boy, I tell you, if they better be lucky, I try to be a Christian, because I wanted to. The thoughts that went through my mind. Because my son was in a lot of pain, and he had to have surgery. My son had to have surgery. My son was in a lot of pain. He had to have surgery on his foot. He had to literally, the doctor said that this is what the surgeon said. The surgeon said that we find these type of injuries with athletes or people that have been in bad car accidents. Either people that have been in bad car accidents or athletes that we find these kind of injuries. They had this piece of wall fell on his foot. They had to put some type of screws, and they had to put screws and stuff in his foot to fuse his bones back together. They had to put his bones back together in his foot. My son was in a lot of pain. He was in a lot of pain. And when he came back, they fired him. They got rid of him. Dirty. They did him dirty. Just dirty. And they didn't think they was gonna have to pay. And they really don't care nothing about you if you're black. If you're black, they don't really care. They really don't care nothing about you if you're black. But one thing about white folks, they will look out for their own. But they do them dirty too sometimes. If they greedy, they'll do them dirty too. But they really don't care about black folk. They really don't care about you if you're black. But you got to care. Oh, I can go on and on for hours. But you got to care about you. You are more important than the job. If you're having any kind of health issues, and I mean any kind, go to the doctor. If they refuse, you walk out. If you lose your job, so what? You'll find another one. Because every time I walked away from a job, guess what? I found another one. God opened up another door. Just like at this other assisted living place, that's a story there too. They forced me to resign because they were racist. They was on some racist stuff. But God opened up another door. Because they didn't want to have to pay unemployment. I was going to file unemployment on them, but God opened up another door. So if God is for you, who can be against you? Every weapon, I said the whole time I was there, I said every weapon formed against me shall not prosper in the name of Jesus. Because they cut down my work. They cut me down to like 2 days a week. Now, when I came home, I cried like a baby. But when I went to work, I act like it didn't even bother me. I didn't let them see me sweat. I said, ooh, I'm loving my extra time off. I really enjoy it. Uh-huh. And then when I came home, I was in a lot of stress and crying and everything else, trying to figure out what I was going to do. But I didn't let them know it. I didn't let them see me sweat. Yeah, they cut me down to 2 days a week. And I said, you know what? Because it was on some racist stuff, and the girl was lying on me. When I came to work, I said, yeah, I'm enjoying my extra time off. I'm enjoying it. I didn't let them see me sweat, and I kept on. When the little days that I did come to work, I did everything I was supposed to do and follow procedures and everything like that. And then next thing you know, God opened up another door, and then I got hired at the daycare. See, God is able. I'm living testimony. He will make a way out of no way. I'm telling you. But you gotta trust him. You come first. If you get sick and they don't tell you, and they tell you you got to come in or you can't go home, say, I'm sorry, I'm not coming in, or I'm going home anyway. And if they fire you, so what? Get your unemployment, and then God will open up another door for you. I promise you. But you got to trust him. It's so sad that this lady had to go through this. And I hope her daughter get justice and she sues the mess out of them. And more people need to file lawsuits against these employers. Because then they're going to learn today. Want to treat people any kind of way. If it wasn't for the employers, they wouldn't have no business. Want to treat people any kind of way, especially black people. And we got to work the hardest. You know we got to work twice as hard to get twice as far. You know that. We always got to work harder. We got to work 10 times harder. And that still ain't good enough. And then they still got the nerve to try to say you ain't doing your job. Well, that's a whole nother video. You know, you guys, I can go on about this for hours. But you come first. Put yourself first, people. Everybody that are still working. Put yourself first. Never put your job before your well-being. Don't never do that. Because that was a huge mistake I made. If I had did what I was supposed to and played my cards right, I could have got my workman's comp out of them. but I wasn't putting my well-being first. You got to put your well-being first. And your health is in life is more important than any of these employers' jobs. Because you can get another job, you can't get another life. Once your life is gone, it's gone. Your loved ones have lost you forever. So you got to put you first. You are more important. And that's everybody that is looking at this video. You are more important than that job. Don't never put your health and well-being over a job. Don't never do that. Ain't no employer on this earth worth that. I don't care how much money they paying you. I don't care how much good the benefits are. And half the time they ain't even paying that. This job wasn't even paying that much. They ain't never dropped me a whole lot of money. Ain't none of these jobs worth that. None of them. And even if you is making good money, it's not worth it. No amount of money is more important than your life. It's not important than your health. Put you first. I stress that. Put your health first. Okay, I gotta go. But that just kind of struck a chord with me when I read that and said that they didn't let her go home. She wasn't feeling good. They wrong for that. And I hope her daughter get paid. And I hope she get millions. They were wrong for that. I hope her and pray that her daughter gets justice. Okay, hit me up and that. This just makes me mad. And this triggers a lot of memories. Okay, just hit me up. Let me know. Tell your story. I want to hear your stories in the comment section. Tell your stories in the comment section. Have you ever had employers refusing to let you go home or refusing letting you take off work and you don't feel good? Hit me up in that comment section. Let me know. I want to know your story. Hit that like. Please hit that like button. Shoot that algorithm straight up to the top. And that subscribe, share, and notification bell. You guys be blessed.